you have to stop for a few minutes and just enjoy the space that you've got. I'm a terrible insomniac, but I never complain about that. I don't worry about that. I use the time, even if it's just lying in bed and thinking about what's around me. So around about Christmas last year, I was 4 o'clock in the morning lying in bed and thinking about the season ahead, thinking about all the people that's going to come to our beautiful island, and I thought, wouldn't it be nice for them to take something away? Everybody likes a musical instrument. I thought, brilliant, I'm going to make penny whistles. And then I thought everybody would kill me, because you can imagine them on the ferry trying to do little whistles. I thought, no, that'll be terrible. And I was kind of bouncing this idea around. Bounced it with the idea with Kate as well, and we ended up thinking about this idea of pocket ukuleles, which in seconds turned into an electric ukulele, because a pocket ukulele wouldn't have much sound. And the idea started to take off very quickly. I did a little bit of research on the internet, found out what other people were doing, and then I just sketched some ideas, went on eBay and started to order little bits and pieces. I then realised that it's probably a really good idea if I started to learn to play the ukulele, because I really can't play anything. So we then ordered a really cheap kids ukulele from Athens. It arrived in a few days. We sat down and I started to very painfully learn this ukulele. Poor Katherine. She really didn't know what she was getting into when we had that conversation. But I was very, very pleased when these bits and pieces started to come in. Very excited. Go to the post office, little packet. Yay, what have I got? And it's a little tuning peg. And it was very pathetic, small thing, but very exciting. Eventually I had all my bits and pieces together. It's just like a magic Airfix kit. So I put thousands of hours into my first ukulele. I built it, I took it apart, I rebuilt it, until it was, well, I wouldn't say I've ever got to a point where I like them, where I think they're perfect. They always are missing something. I always want to put a bit more, and Katherine says, no, stop, it's perfect. I'm like, okay. Well, that first one I put so many hours into. I took that back to the UK and gave it to my brother, who's very much an old man of the forest, so he enjoyed that. And since then, I've really enjoyed every single ukulele, putting the knowledge of the previous one into it, and just tweaking it that little bit, making it that little bit better. And even if it's not better than the last one, I've tried to make sure it's got more of me in it. I tried to make it something that is actually close to me. Every single one I make, I don't want to give up. It's important to me. And I think that's more important than having something that's technically perfect. I want something that someone's going to go away with and think, this meant something to the person that made it. Because it really does. I want to leave a piece of me and send it around the world, but more than anything, I want to take the memory of EOS and, you know, have something that's going to last a long time, and people are going to sit down and think, oh, this is so cool, and have all their friends turn around and say, where can I get one of those from? I think we've done that. It's, I kind of like it. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll do a guitar next. We'll see. I've always said, marry your best friend. I like to be in a place where I can feel the universe around me. I can feel the spirit. It could be a busy ocean, it could be in the middle of a forest. It's a feeling I get. There's no harm in asking. If you walk up to someone's house, unless you knock on the door, they're not going to know you're standing there and they won't open it for you. We've always embraced change. Always open to do what's around the corner. I'm very conscious, I'll leave this, you keep recording this. I'm very conscious of something that happened a few years ago. Back in the old days when computers started to do voice-to-text recognition, first thing you did, you get this little software out the box, you load it up, and then you had to sit there with a microphone for about 2.5 days, reading huge pieces of text so the computer could learn your voice and it knew what to put on the screen. It was really good, and I tested it, and it's fantastic. So I passed it over to Katherine because she was being a busy executive at the time. I checked this out for her. So she sat down, did the training, and then 3 days later, ripped my head off because the thing didn't work. And then I pointed out to her, maybe she should read it in the same voice that she was using when she read the story, because the piece of text she chose to read into the computer was Alice in Wonderland. So she discovered that it worked as, Dear Memo, everybody in the office is fired. And it worked really well then, but you had to read it like Alice in Wonderland. And I'm just conscious of that here.
I'm trying not to laugh because I want to have that on it. I don't want to have my voice in it.